multiple interceptions in multiple seasons. That's a ball hawk. And J.C. Jackson has been that. J.C. Jackson could play left corner. He could play right corner. He could play boundary field. He could play slot because as a matchup guy, that's where you got to be. When you look at some of the guys he matched up, they played Buffalo Bills twice, so he played against Stephon Diggs, and that was his match. They played against Miami Dolphins twice. Devontae Parker, that was his match. And then you look at the Colts, that's always been a big game for New England, and he matched up against Michael Pittman. So there's a lot of other matches, but those just give you an idea of how he was used. And then being able to play man on third down, like those are the times you want to be able to pressure. Those are the times you want to be able to be on those guys. I think that helped them on third down because they were 32nd and third down. So there's nowhere to go but up on that situation. And then increased turnovers. I think they were 18th, ranked 18th in turnovers, and they're used to attacking the ball. And with JC, 2018 and 2019, he didn't start and he had 8 interceptions. 2020 becomes a starter, has 9 interceptions. 2021 has 8 interceptions. That's 25 interceptions in 4 years, not starting 2 years. Deion Sanders, he had 24 interceptions in his first 5 seasons. So the most interceptions he had was 7 his whole career. So that gives you a value, a strong value of who J.C. Jackson is. Now, I'm not saying he's Deion Sanders, but what I am saying is when we talk about somebody who's a ball hawk, when we talk about somebody who can match up, J.C. Jackson's pretty good. He matches up pretty well. So just looking at this right here, you see J.C. is in the slot. That's his matchup. It's zero coverage for the matchup guy because the safety is going over top to help somebody else. The help is pushed somewhere else. All right, so he's going to travel wherever Stephon Diggs is. All right, so right there you see him. That's the split vision I was talking about. The ability to play man and still see the ball being thrown. We call that split vision. He does a good job with that.
We got JC at the top. Another one-on-one matchup. Love him right here playing left corner. A lot of right-handed quarterbacks, they're looking at their first read. An aggressive corner will be thinking to come inside for some reason, but he is staying right on top, plays through it. He does nice stick at the top of the route. And like Coach said, gets his eyes back, pass breakup. Here we go again. Stephon Diggs one-on-one. You see him, he's playing man, staying top shoulder, not so much hands, but hands at the right moment. When we talk about that eyes and transition to get back, that is not easy to do. And during that transition, he gets his eyes around, sees the ball, which is right in his face, catches it, nice turnover. I mean, this stuff is easier said than done. And we're watching a lot of one-on-one matchups with teams' number one wideout. And the continued theme is that he is winning the one-on-one matchup, and he's putting himself in a great position as far as top shoulder every single time.
One of the things that Brandon Staley had said, he said, a lot of people talk about arming quarterbacks. We wanted to arm Derwin with some weapons that would really bring out the best in him. Big Fangio defense, Brandon Staley defense, traditionally doesn't do man matchups. They play left to right, field to boundary, and then what they do is they play quarter, half. And then now you don't have to play halves to the boundary or to the X receiver. You can leave Jackson on him, and you can push the safety in the middle of the field, and he can play a post player, and you can push it. That's some of the things you have an opportunity to do, especially with Derwin James. Show cores on one side, you can blitz him, and then you have a guy who can play man on the other side.
Having a corner like JC and some of these shutdown guys where you can lock down that boundary side X and take that backside safety and kind of poach, and rob that 3-over route. That'll take away a lot of that stuff that's really hard, especially with a guy like Tyreek, where they line up at number 3 and yes, run that deep over route or now bring the double high sevens up and things like that. It's really difficult.
We came up with this. Asante Samuel's doing a good job playing in the field. He's doing a good job playing all plant and drive and being able to see routes. Then you look at Mike Davis, he had aligned predominantly to the boundary. Now they have the opportunity to do more matchups and play, especially in this league. I don't think you want just anybody covering Devontae Adams. Believe me, I think you want to be able to say and have this very distinct plan and just not run your defense versus those guys.
The sneaky signing is going to be Van Noy, because Van Noy, if he can teach them some of that, stuff that they did in New England and to JC's strengths, I think they will implement it. I think that's going to be a key. But to me, that Bryce Callahan deal, and Coach Pagano knows, like, when I was in Chicago, that kid, he was undrafted and like he came on the scene and was just really good in the slot. He's been nagged by injuries, but when he's healthy, he's a very, very good slot player.
And now you can move Derwin James, like we talked about, rolling him as a rover, rolling him over to help with 3-by-1. So you can leave JC on the backside, and you're pretty comfortable doing that. So just wrapping it up, I think that's why you bring JC. That's why you bring him to LA.